A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English because it's so much fun. English education for you and everyone, so come along. Learn some grammar, learn a phrase, learn something new every day. Learn the A+ way. Hey, it's time to start the show. Are you ready? Good, 'cause here we go. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I want A+ English.
Hello and welcome back to A+. Reese and Laura returning to your screens.
Woo!
And today we're talking about a serious subject.
We are? Am I gonna cry?
Graduation anxiety.
真的，我觉得每次提到就是要毕业，就想说 What am I gonna do in the future?
It's a difficult question to answer.
对啊。
And it can make you feel very scared because nobody knows what's going to happen in the future, and what you do now can change what happens in your future.
And maybe leaving your friends.
Yeah, it's a big, scary world, but I promise it's not all that scary once you actually dive into it. In fact, being an adult is actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
I can eat McDonald's whenever I like. Anyway,
Okay, it's more than that.
warm-up question for you guys. Do you worry about leaving your school? What about the future makes you feel nervous?
OK, 所以你们会不会担心，就是可能毕业的时候，哇，你们的未来可能又会做什么事情，然后就感觉很恐慌 Of course, yes. But to be honest, I always sort of knew what I wanted and liked. So yeah, what I'm doing now is pretty much what I sort of imagined back when I was a child.
That's great. I mean, for me, maybe my future is different from what I thought it would be when I was younger, but I'm very happy in my life right now. Living in Taipei is wonderful.
Yay.
I make good money. I have good friends. Life is great. So don't worry too much about the future. It'll work out if you want it to.
Yes.
Anyway, let's get into today's article, and we're going to hear from a student who's feeling very worried about the future, so she reaches out to her teacher for some help.
Graduating and growing up. Warm-up question. Do you worry about leaving your school? What about the future makes you feel nervous?
Dear Mr. Spencer, I am writing to thank you for your guidance these few years. As you know, junior high school was a difficult time for me. Now, as I prepare to graduate, I think of your help. You helped me become smarter and stronger. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. But now, I must face graduation. I must face the future. The world after junior high school excites and intimidates me. I'm not ready to say goodbye to my friends. I'm not ready for senior high school and college. Sometimes I feel like I have no direction. Where do I go, Mr. Spencer? Thanks, Sammy Cooper.
So let's have a read of this student's letter. They start by saying, Dear Mr. Spencer, which is this person's teacher, I'm writing to thank you for your guidance these few years. As you know, junior high school was a difficult time for me.
Wow, this student sounds super polite.
Polite and sincere.
真的，所以亲爱的 Spencer 老师，我要写信来谢谢你这几年来的指导。那你也知道，国中对我来说是一个非常困难的时期。I really didn't like my junior high as well. It's that awkward moment. 那当我们用 thank somebody for something 就是感谢某人做了什么事情，那他是感谢他的 guidance 就是指导引导。
Well, school is a tough time for everybody, but it's definitely tougher for some people than others. I had a pretty good school life, you know. I had good friends, I studied hard, but I also had some time to be a kid and play. You know, school in the UK is not like school in Taiwan.
No.
We have a lot of free time.
A lot of tests in Taiwan.
Yeah, so many tests. But of course I had some hard times, you know, fighting with your friends or getting told off by teachers. even, being bullied. I think a lot of people are bullied sometimes.
你有吗？
Yeah,
You're such a nice person. I can't imagine that happening to you.
Thank you, but the bullies didn't think so.
Okay.
And balancing your schoolwork and your personal life can be difficult sometimes.
For sure. 大家刚刚有没有听到我们讲到一些可能比较沉重的议题，像是 bullying， 就是一些霸凌，那在校园很多地方是存在的哦。那所以其实我们要更勇敢一点，要不然可能那个学校的 school bullies 就会欺负你。And also there's this other thing called peer pressure，同侪的压力，就是说你可能会觉得说，哎，大家都在怎么样，然后你可能就有没有觉得有点好像被排挤，或者是不被受欢迎。And also in Taiwan, everybody's kind of competitive because of tests and scores and grades，就是大家也很竞争，像这个可能是在国高中都会遇到的。But actually, my school teachers loved me.
I thought that might be the case.
Yeah, and I loved a lot of actually I loved practically most subjects. I remember I used to love speech and drama and art classes the most.
Yeah.
Those are easy for me. 而且很好玩. We do fun stuff. Yeah, activities and stuff like that. And also,
I can imagine you in the class being the student that always has their hand up and wants to speak to the teacher.
我是啊，我真的是一个很爱表现的人。
Yeah.
Okay, 好险我不是在台湾。I don't think in Taiwan people like that kind of students.
Yeah.
It's like you're a show off.
Right, show off or teacher's pet.
对, I was the teacher's pet.
Me too.
Okay.
But look where we are now.
Yay!
It worked. Okay, well, back to the letter, and it says, "Now, as I prepare to graduate, I think of your help.
Aww.
You helped me become smarter and stronger. Thank you, Mr. Spencer."
So sweet. I wish I had a student like this.
Yeah,
okay.
very good student.
Write to me, my students. 他这时候我们看到这个学生很棒。他说：“现在当我正在准备毕业的同时，我想起您一直以来的帮忙，您帮助我变得更聪明和坚强。谢谢您 ，Spencer 老师。”
Well, sounds like Mr. Spencer was a good teacher.
Yeah, so we've been talking about graduate, 毕业，这是动词哦。Graduation 就是它的名词哦，都是毕业的意思。
Yeah, so you can graduate from high school.
Yes.
Or you can graduate from college or university,
For
right?
sure.
Usually, when you graduate from junior high or university, you will have something called a prom, which is like a party or a dinner, or maybe you'll go dancing. It's kind of a way to celebrate your time together and have one big last get together before everybody goes their separate ways.
Oh, okay. Sounds kind of sad. Okay. We called it a formal back in Australia.
I've heard that, a formal.
你有听过吗？
Yeah.
所以在美国是 prom， 然后澳洲我们叫 formal， 就是一个毕业的舞会。You know, but thinking of graduation, I hate looking at my graduation photos. I don't know why. I just think the hairstyle and everything, they can make people look dorky. 都会看起来挫挫的，在一些毕业纪念册当中 those yearbooks, it's like sometimes you can look kind of有点 dorky.
I love it. Yeah. When I look at my graduation photos or my yearbook photos now, it's so long ago in the past. It's like 13 years ago. I'm like, that's a different person. Who cares what his hair looked like?
真的对. But then it's fun to actually look at old photos.
Yes, yeah.
真的.
I definitely recommend you guys taking some more photos while you're at school.
Please.
Because they will make great memories in the future.
For sure.
Well, back to the letter. And the student says, "But now I must face graduation. I must face the future. The world after junior high school excites and intimidates me."
Wow, he's very honest and very mature.
Very mature.
Like he's very thinking a lot of things. 然而，我现在必须面对，就是未来国中之后的一些世界啊。OK， 就是他毕业这件事情，他也让他就是感到怎么样，既兴奋，但是也非常的害怕哦。Intimidate 这个字好像有点难，就是使什么害怕的意思，它是一个动词。
So it's a confusing time because the student is feeling excited
Yes.
and intimidated.
Yeah.
So it's a good feeling but a bad feeling at the same time,
Right.
which is definitely true. That's how I felt when I was leaving the UK, for
I can
example.
totally relate.
Thinking about the future can be scary. When you're young, your idea of what you want to be in the future always changes. You know, I used to dream of being an actor in Hollywood or in the movies.
Maybe you will one day.
Maybe,
You never know.
Maybe, but for now, the direction of my life is leading in a different direction.
Yes.
But I'm happy with that.
Of course.
I like where my life is now. Your life might take unexpected turns, your interests and your personality changes, and the people around you change as well. Leaving high school in particular is scary because you're becoming an adult in some ways, right?
Yeah.
If you leave your parents' home, you're going to have to start paying rent and paying bills and washing your own clothes. No one really teaches you about how to live in the real world.
You have to really learn and adapt, adjust.
Yeah, but don't worry, you'll learn. Like, everyone learns.
Yes, of course.
You have to learn.
Okay, but you know, I don't want to grow up sometimes. 我真的不想长大，突然有点想唱一首老歌。我不想长大。We can go to KTV someday.
Sure.
I remember when I was young, I wanted to be a lawyer, but then 我现在不是律师。对啊，所以其实有时候就是你以前会去想，可是后来长大there are a lot of changes. And also, you know, although I hate growing up, but I do miss the good old days back when I was a student.
Yeah, it is fun.
Yeah, everything is like so simple. But you know what? I still do enjoy the freedom right now as an adult.
Yeah.
Okay. 但是要承担很多责任哦。长大并不是说耶我自由了，我不用理爸爸妈妈。你开始要经济独立。You have to be independent and pay your bills.
You do. Otherwise, you'll go to prison. It's not as bad as that. Well, back to the letter and more from the student. They say, I'm not ready to say goodbye to my friends. I'm not ready for senior high school and college.
他说我还没有准备好要跟我的好朋友说再见，我还没有准备好要去上高中和大学。Nobody's ready for anything really.
Yeah, and you know, moving school does mean changing friends sometimes.
Yes.
You know, your bestest friend in high school might be someone that you don't even recognize 10 years later.
No.
But that's okay. That's how life goes. So college is something that happens later after high school. In college, you'll experience a much freer life than in high school. You'll be responsible for your learning, you know? The teacher won't be saying, do this, do that.
No.
It's up to you to do it for yourself. But in college, in my experience at least, that's the time when you meet the people that you'll know for life.
I think so too. I agree with that.
And in college also, you learn more things about the world and how to survive, and you get to focus your knowledge in one area. And the best thing about college, you can join clubs like choir or Dragon Boat Club.
I love going to, like, you know, when I was a university student, I did so many things. I was actually the president of TAISA.
What's that?
It's a club. 台湾同学会会长.
Wow.
Taiwanese Australian Student Society from UQ, University of Queensland, back in Australia. I hosted a lot of events. I put together a lot of stuff. I actually arranged a singing contest. I did a lot of things.
Wow,
it was so fun.
Professional over here. Well, back to the article, and the student's letter is coming to a close.
Okay.
She says, sometimes I feel like I have no direction.
Oh, no.
Where do I go, Mr. Spencer? Thanks, Sammy Cooper.
Okay.
Oh, that's so sad. Where do I go?
She seems very worried. Okay. 所以她说有时候我觉得很迷惘，她说她没有方向，所以这时候她就请教她老师说我该往哪个方向走呢？老师。
I think this feeling of anxiety is very common amongst students.
For sure.
So don't worry too much if you're feeling worried. I promise it will be okay. Who was your favorite teacher at school?
It was my English teacher. Her name was Miss Daly. She inspired me in so many ways. I'm gonna cry.
That's so nice. My favorite teacher was Mr. Porter. He was my drama teacher.
Wow.
And he was like an old man with a cane, but he was so active. I loved his classes. Well, that's the end of day one. We've heard from Sammy Cooper, the student who's feeling worried. Tomorrow, we'll hear from her teacher, Mr. Spencer, and he's got some advice for Sammy.
Wait.
But for now, let's head over to Laura's Corner to learn some vocabulary.
我好紧张，我简直是压力山大，我好不安。这样的英文都要怎么说呢？大家比较熟悉的说法可能是 nervous 紧张，或是刚刚我们有提到的 anxious 焦虑，还有 scared 害怕。但是你们知道口语我们还可以用 stressed out，也是非常常见的，就是压力很大、压力山大这样的意思。好，接下来就要来补充一下，如果要表达哇，你心情这些有时候可能很焦虑、很紧张，有哪些不错的说法呢？首先，最简单的就是 I'm afraid, I'm frightened， 我很害怕，或者是 I'm worried， 这个应该也很简单吧，就是我很担心。那如果你感到非常绝望、无助的话，你可以用 helpless 这个字 ，I feel helpless， 或者是 I feel desperate， 我感到很绝望 ，or I feel powerless， 我感到很无力。哇，听起来非常的无力感哦。那心情沮丧要怎么说呢？你可以说 I feel depressed。Depressed， 大家应该有听过 depression 就是忧郁症，所以 depressed 就是忧郁的。那你也可以用 I feel frustrated， 这有一种我感到很挫折这样的意思哦。但是我要讲一个非常可爱的说法，就是 down in the dumps 啊，是虾米意思？就是原来呢 dump 大家应该知道它是垃圾堆的意思，所以如果你心情很糟，感觉你好像埋在垃圾堆当中，哇 down in the dumps 就是很贴切来形容心情糟透了。For example, you look down in the dumps. What happened? 你看起来心情很低落怎么了？好啦，那我们回到课文的 Word Power Words， 我们刚刚你们有听到哪些单字呢？像是 smart 这个形容词就是聪明的，或是机灵的。类似的字词还有 bright 也有聪明的意思哦，或者是 clever 聪明伶俐的，还有 intelligent 我觉得通常是形容那种功课很好的那种聪明人哦。还有 wise 这个是比较是有智慧的长者哦，就会用到 wise 这个字。I think Reese is smart and super easygoing。想到了 smart， 我马上就想到 Reese 老师又聪明，而且人又非常好哦。我们来看一下例句。Ellen is a smart girl and does well in math class. Ellen 是个聪明的女孩，她在数学课上表现得很好。刚刚还提到了 excite 这个动词，就是使什么什么兴奋。For example, the action movie was super boring. It didn't excite me at all. 那个动作片很无聊完全都没有让我感到很期待、很兴奋。注意哦 ，excite 它的变化型，如果要说我感到很兴奋，要用 I feel excited。但如果是什么东西或是什么事情令你感到很兴奋，我们则要用 exciting 这个形容词，两个不要搞错咯。我们来看一下例句 ：This movie is popular, but it doesn't excite me. 这部电影虽然很受欢迎，但是我却提不起兴致。再来，我们有看到 college 这个字，它是一个名词，就是大学学院。那其实也有人称它为 university， 也有大学的意思。而 college student 当然就是大学生啦。I teach college students in 世新 University。没错，我在世新大学也有教大学生哦。来看一下这个例句 ：The young man went to college after he finished high school。这位年轻男子高中毕业后便进入大学就读。再来就是 direction， 就是方向、目标，它是个名词。For example, Melinda's life lacks direction. She needs to find some goals. Melinda 的人生没有方向，她必须找些目标。
Magic Box。Hello， 大家好，我是 Casey。要跟别人道谢的时候呢，我们一定知道会说 thanks 或者是 thank you， 这两个说法呢，大家一定都会了。不过，如果我们今天要稍微复杂一点点的说，谢谢你做了什么事情，又或者是呢，要谢谢的对象是别人而不是你的话，那英文应该要怎么说呢？这时候呢，我们就可以用到今天课文里面 Sammy 对老师说的这个句型哦。Thank you for your guidance， 谢谢你的教导。那 for 后面接上名词或者是动名词，就可以用来表示因为对方做的事情让我觉得很感谢。那我们换成动词来看看刚刚那句话哦。Sammy 他其实也可以说 Thanks 或者是 Thank you for teaching me。那谢谢你教导我，这边就变成用 VING 的形式咯。那至于感谢的对象呢，你也可以视情况调整哦。只要把你感谢的对象放在 thank 这个动词的后面就可以了。所以呢，整个句型就会变成 thank somebody for doing something， 是不是很好记呢？ Does it sound very easy？ 那我们就马上来看看今天的第二则文法哦，也就是连缀动词。那连缀动词有哪一些呢？刚刚提到的 sound 听起来，然后还有跟它一样是属于感官类型的 look。看起来， feel 感觉起来，或者是闻起来 smell 吃起来 taste， 这些呢其实都是连缀动词哦。那除了它们之外，很常见的还有描述状态改变的 turn、become， 还有 go， 它们都有变得怎么样怎么样这样的意思哦。那表达维持啊，或是保持某个状态，你就可以用 stay、keep， 还有 remain 这3个动词。好啦，那除了认识这些连缀动词之外，它们使用的方式也是非常重要的哦。大家记得连缀动词很常用的一个用法就是后面加上形容词。比方说呢，这间饭店看起来还不错诶，我们下次来住吧。This hotel looks nice. How about staying here on our next trip? Look 在这个句子里面呢，意思就是看起来，后面直接加上形容词 nice， 就是看起来不错这样的意思哦。那另外一个例句呢 ，I forgot to put the milk in the fridge, so it went bad. 我忘记把牛奶冰在冰箱里面，所以它就坏了。那 go bad 这边也是连缀动词加上形容词的结构哦。好啦，那今天学了 thank somebody for， 还有连缀动词的用法，大家要记得复习哦。
Review time.
Okay, it's time for our review time activity, and it's Pictionary.
什么啊？这我超不会猜的耶！而且 ，Are you good at drawing?
No. I'm good
Okay.
with words, but I'm terrible with the pen.
I don't think I can play this game then.
Well, let's try. I'm going to draw a
let's
picture
try.
of one of the 4 vocabulary words.
好哟。
You have to try and guess what it is.
So we have smart,
Okay.
聪明的 excite 使兴奋
Alright.
college 大学，还有 direction 就是方向跟目标。大家跟我一起来猜猜看，到底 Reese 在画什么呢？我跟你讲，其实蛮简单的，但是看起来有点搞笑。It looks kind of funny. I can tell he has a big brain.
Yeah.
很 brainy, 很聪明的，头脑不错的。A light bulb 上面还有个电灯泡。
He has an idea, maybe.
真的哦 he has an idea. So smart.
Yeah.
叮咚叮咚叮咚。
Smart is the correct. I'm so glad you guessed that one.
对啊。
Big brain, right?
那 it actually 它 looks like poop， 看起来有点像大便，不知道为什么。
Okay.
脑子装屎吗？
Let's try one more. I think this one is
还要
going to
再一个。
be really easy. It's
我觉
going to
得
take me
Reese
like...
不怕挑战 ，You're not afraid of challenges.
I'm
Very
not.
good. 这个超简单的 direction.
Yeah, direction. An arrow will show you the direction you need to go in. This one's
我们应该
plenty
去
easy.
参加一些 game shows，我们真的很快耶。
I love game shows.
对啊。
I think we could be a really good team.
对，我们一定是很棒的一组。
You know Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? We could go and do that
Yeah,
and win $1
let's
million.
do. Let's go.
Let's do it. Anyway, there are more words that you guys can draw pictures of and test your art skill as well as your language ability. But for now, that's all we have. We'll see you next time. Ta-ra.
Graduating and growing up. Warm-up question. Do you worry about leaving your school? What about the future makes you feel nervous?
Dear Mr. Spencer, I am writing to thank you for your guidance these few years. As you know, junior high school was a difficult time for me. Now, as I prepare to graduate, I think of your help. You helped me become smarter and stronger. Thank you, Mr. Spencer. But now I must face graduation. I must face the future. The world after junior high school excites and intimidates me. I'm not ready to say goodbye to my friends. I'm not ready for senior high school and college. Sometimes I feel like I have no direction. Where do I go, Mr. Spencer? Thanks, Sammy Cooper.
Word power. Smart. Smart. Ellen is a smart girl and does well in math class. Ellen is a smart girl and does well in math class. Excite. Excite. This movie is popular, but it doesn't excite me. This movie is popular, but it doesn't excite me. College. College. The young man went to college after he finished high school. The young man went to college after he finished high school. Direction. Direction. Melinda's life lacks direction. She needs to find some goals. Melinda's life lacks direction. She needs to find some goals.
认识字汇
Guidance. Guidance. Graduate. Graduate. Graduation. Graduation. Intimidate. Intimidate.